See, there's nothing going on. The CDC has said these 2 doctors are quacks. They're crazy. Nothing happened here. It's all good. That's not what Gary Holmes was talking about. It was all a misunderstanding.
Oh my goodness.
So people have been saying for years, well, the Holmes, the CDC said nothing was going on. That's not what they said. Gary Holmes just made an innocent remark that he doesn't see signs of an Epstein-Barr virus syndrome outbreak, meaning there wasn't a mutant form of the virus.
Wow.
And
but did they not investigate it at all after that? How did it end up being chronic fatigue syndrome? How did it go from that point to now all of a sudden it's chronic fatigue syndrome?
Because when the townspeople got the impression that there was nothing going on, they went into full attack mode against Cheney and Peterson. They wanted to drive them out of town, have their licenses pulled, ruin their credibility, destroy them. They say these 2 quack doctors created a false, phony epidemic of hysteria, and now they need to be punished.
Oh my.
Well, Dr. Cheney hit the roof, naturally. I mean, here's his reputation going down the tubes.
Right.
And he went to the local newspaper, and he said, what the CDC and health officials are saying is not true. I can stand up, or we could stand up, him and Dr. Peterson, we could stand up in a court of law and prove 90 cases of chronic Epstein-Barr virus syndrome. Because he had this EBV serology test backing him up, proving it.
Right.
He was right. These people did have the chronic form of the Epstein-Barr virus. So according to the CDC's CEBV syndrome definition, they were squarely in the middle. They did fit. So
wow.
That's when the controversy began. Because you've got the CDC saying, according to the Chamber of Commerce, that nothing happened. Dr. Cheney saying, I can prove it in a court of law. So where do you go with that?
Where did they go with that?
Everybody launched into a huge battle. And in the midst of all this, a Chicago businessman named Theodore Van Zelst, whose daughter had the chronic Epstein-Barr virus syndrome, heard about this. And he approached Dr. Cheney and Dr. Anthony Komaroff, who had come out from Harvard to do his own investigation because he was dealing with EBV on the East Coast. He approached them and asked them to look for immune abnormalities that help make some kind of case for the reality of the illness and force the CDC into taking firm action on this. So private funding paid for extremely sophisticated testing that wouldn't be available to any normal doctor. Cell flow cytometry, MRI scans, which had just come online. I mean, the only place you could have it done was Reno, and the radiologists had just set it up months before. So all this new technology came online at the exact right time for Dr. Cheney to get supporting evidence. So, in addition, Dr. Peterson sent blood work down to the Robert Gallo lab, and they discovered a new virus that was only heretofore known in AIDS patients. This was HH36 alpha.
Oh, that was oh, interesting.
So you've got cell flow cytometry saying something's wrong. You've got abnormal B cell activity. You've got low natural killer cell function. You've got a new virus, a very scary new virus. And Dr. Cheney assembled all this as a package and goes, see, I'm not kidding about this. There is something going on. And he forced the CDC to come back. As far as they were concerned, they were done with this. They had no intention of ever taking another look at Lake Tahoe. But with evidence like that, and Dr. Cheney going to the newspapers, they really had no choice. So the local newspapers got wind of this, They did some articles. Big city, Sacramento newspaper reporter did a story on it, and that was the 160 at Lake Tahoe. And once it made national news, there was no stopping it. So the CDC did get dragged back into the investigation, very much against their will. Dr. Gary Holmes never did come back. He said that he felt very much attacked by Dr. Cheney saying, well, the CDC is wrong. But he never really looked at why Dr. Cheney had to say that. It was a misunderstanding, and nobody ever tried to clear it up. You know, they could have at that point said, oh, well, yes, there was evidence for chronic Epstein-Barr virus syndrome. You know, they could have worked it all out.
Yeah.
But they never did. Instead, everybody's feelings got hurt. They launched into battle. The controversy began, and all these facts